like a sequence. There's so many things I have to click and do. I don't know if I could even write it down. Oh, right. We are streaming and we are live on Instagram. Number one. That's good. Woohoo.
That's something.
Yay. And let's go over to YouTube. All right. Looks like we're live on YouTube and LinkedIn. Awesome. So I don't know if Jesse's going to be joining us. I think she said she is, but we'll give her a couple of minutes. And we'll give this definitely 5 minutes for people to join us. And I'm going to drop a comment here. We are uh, AI video ad. Teach you how to launch it and convert the ad. Uh, Welcome.
Good. And people can just stare at our faces while we're waiting for our actual start time. That's going to be in about 5 minutes. But should I
Yes.
talk a little bit about what we're actually going to do so it's just not me staring at the camera, which is my
Yeah.
favorite thing to do?
Yeah, that would be great, Dave. I would appreciate that. And again, welcome if you're just joining us. I see some people here now have joined us on Instagram. Today, we're going to be talking about AI video ads. And I'm going to let David take it from here because he is really the expert here. And this is my guest. So I'm excited to have not only my husband and business partner here, but he's gonna be the ad tech here and sharing everything you want to know about video ads. And we're going to compact this in less than a 45-minute conversation. So hang with us. Dave, give us an introduction.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So I'll do the formal introduction when the official start time is, but today I'm going to talk about creating AI generated video ads. It's one of the things that we do for clients. And the way you can really think about this is AI generated short form video. And so whether you're doing it for organic or paid, it's really the same process. We're going to walk you through the steps. And I'm going to use a couple of different tools. So my hope is within a half an hour here, I'm actually going to go through each one of the steps, the tools that I use, and we're going to end up with a completed video ad. And I'm going to try and be sneaky here because I actually want to do some client work because, as you know, like time is of the essence and I'm busy. So I'm actually going to build a client ad that I would be doing anyway during this hour and yeah, put it all together. So the tools I'm going to be using are ChatGPT. I'm also then going to be using 11 Labs. I will use a stock video platform just to pull in some assets. We're also going to use Runway to animate some things. And to top it all off, I'm going to use some royalty-free music that we're going to create on the fly on a music platform called Suno. And then we will put it all together real quickly, and I'm going to use CapCut as the tool that we put together. So if your hope in joining this was to be able to turn your mind off and just press a button and have a high performing, high converting ad come out of nowhere, then this is not going to be the session for you. This is still in the early stages, I guess, of AI. It's sort of funny to say that with the amount of things that I'm going to be able to do here. But yeah, it's process, and this is my process. And if you stick with us, I'm also going to drop some process documents as freebies. Wendy, am I allowed to do that?
Yes,
Just
yeah.
what would
Yeah.
I do? Would I just send them over to Jesse or just share them in the comments or what would I do?
Um, you can DM us is the best way to get those. So wherever you're watching this from, not everyone is joining us on the Zoom link. So if you're wherever you're watching this from, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, just DM us and yeah, we'll get you those links.
Got it. So I'll just show them on the screen and then I will share the links with you. So two awesome pieces that we're going to drop here. One is my insider guide to how I approach creating video ads for my clients. And that is including all the specs, right? The sizes, the specs, the timing, the different platform requirements, the different placements. It's our inside sort of standard operating procedure when I go into creating ads for a client. And so it's an eye opener because first of all, when I share this with clients, they're like, oh, I didn't know there were so many types of placements and ads. And also for you, as you start to think about it, if you're growing someone else's business, if you're marketing, or if you're growing your own business, um, it gives you an introduction or at least a way to level up to know how many things are going to be there. I
That's
hear
awesome.
a ding.
Yes, 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 yes. We have Jesse join us. Hey, Jess.
Oh, Jesse got the message. We're doing hat day. I
Hey,
love it.
it's hat
Yay!
day.
Hat day Thursday. That's so great.
Yes.
So the funny thing, and I know we're going to get started here, but Wendy and I are married. We never talk to each other about what we're going to wear, and inevitably we just end up wearing the same thing. Like, both wearing a black shirt. We both grabbed our Tony Robbins hats. I guess that's what we were thinking this morning. So
So great.
Jesse, run and put a black shirt on a Tony Robbins hat, and you'll be in.
Right. I gotta go switch.
All right. So the
So cool.
assigned time is up. So Wendy, I will let you take it away.
Cool. So, welcome if you're just joining us. Welcome to this live session. We are going to try to compact this down very shortly on how to build an AI video ad. Originally, we were going to talk about managing editors and revisions and deadlines. We're not going to do that. We're actually going to dive deep into the one thing. And my guest today is David, my business partner, my husband. He's going to be teaching us how to build this AI video ad, get it launched, his way he does it, and then as well as how to convert it. So we're holding you up to these things, David, and I want to pass the stage to you because this is such a gray area for a lot of us who are, either subbing that out to ad managers or an ad agency, and we're not actually doing our own ads. It sounds very complicated even to get into this. And also, how do we know if our ad managers are actually doing this? So by seeing this, you can actually be able to ask your ad manager, ad agency, or marketing company, are you guys doing this? So it's good that you're joining us here, and I'm really glad to see a lot of you popping on here with us. So yeah, Dave, so Dave, please introduce yourself, and yeah, let's get it started. We're gonna really, like I said, compact this in like under 45 minutes, and yeah, you're gonna be surprised.
I'm going to try and make this as quick and seamless and as non-tech as possible. But my name is David Tucker, and I have been in the marketing space since, well, Wendy, you're going to need to let me share the screen here. All right, I'm now co-host. It's always a little technical difficulties, isn't it? Yeah, I've been in the marketing space since the beginning of time, literally. About 30 years running a full stack marketing agency called Right Now Communications. And what we do is we generate leads for our clients, right? And so if you want to learn a little bit more about us, Right Now Inc. is our URL. But here's the thing, we have gone completely AI as an agency. And one of the things that we needed to do was to become incredibly proficient at video advertising and video content creation. And that is just a necessity because that's the thing that is converting higher than anything else in the world today. And so that sort of led me to create an offshoot product that is only focused on video ads called Short Star Video. And this, you can go to shortstarvideo.com. But here's what you need to know. At Short Star Video, we primarily work with ad managers because it's come to the point in time where ad managers are really good at creating like static text ads and managing the complexities of ad campaigns. But when it comes to video, it can be a beast, right? Because they just don't know where to go. And it's been that way for a long time. It's been complicated to create video ads. So what most ad managers have ended up doing is inside the ad platforms, they have very simple builders. And you just go ahead and use the text that you'd use for search ads. You pop in some images and voila, like Google Ads platform, their PMax campaigns create a video for you. And the video, it will convert, it works, it shows up, but basically it stinks. And when your video content stinks, when your ad content stinks, what happens is, yeah, it doesn't convert. And so I'm going to walk you through a process here that I am using for a client. And I'll just tell a quick client story. So we started working with this particular client, I don't know, about 14 or 15 months ago. And the challenge was leads, right? And I don't know, does this sound familiar? Like if you're out there and you're saying leads is a challenge, give us a thumbs up. But this particular client, they were getting about 40 leads per month. And so we approach this from both paid and organic. Paid was the thing that knocked it out of the park. And we've scaled that in that time frame, 14, 15 months, from 40 leads to 400 leads per month. And they are now opening a second location, right? And that's really the power of being able to figure out how to reach out into the internet and generate cold traffic leads into your business. And so today, uh, I'm going to show you the process I use because this client, like so many clients I've worked for before, the problem is getting creative from them, right? Like they don't have time to shoot video, they send it to you and it's horrible. Um, and so traditionally we've used like B-roll, which does work, right? But I think we've hit a point in time where B-roll needs to be augmented with some real sort of stuff. And so I'm going to walk you through my process here. And the first place that I start is I need to ideate what the piece of content, what the ad is going to be about, right? And so where I go and do that is ChatGPT. And let's just jump in here. So this is ChatGPT. It looks familiar. The only difference is this is a custom GPT that we created for this particular use case, this client, right? And so inside this GPT, it has all of the client's buyer personas. It has all of the products and courses and things that they offer. It has their mission statement, their guidelines. They're in the education space, so there are some legal guardrails that need to be followed when you create any sort of content. And then it also has some custom things. We use like Brendan Kane's hook point. And so we have a hook point method that we use as a knowledge document inside this custom GPT. There's some sales persuasion, ethical sales persuasion language that goes into this, along with some plugins for social media, SEO, content, that sort of thing. So I'm not starting from your GPT that would be just a zero shot, like nothing in space. And this allows me to spin up content for this particular client very, very quickly. And so here we are, we're in graduation season, and I know that we need to talk to graduates, right? Because this is an opportunity for graduates to bypass the four-year education system, get into the trades where in 8 months they can graduate and start earning an incredible living. And so that's who we're talking to. I always hate that word targeting. It sounds a little harsh, but in essence, that's what we're doing. So
Hey, Dave.
yeah.
Can I quickly interrupt? We have some new people joining us, and if you're just joining us, it's a little bit hard to see on Instagram because the screen is so small and vertical, and we're like tiny up there. But just to keep you aware, we are talking about how to quickly build an AI video ad. To bring you up to speed, we're talking how to quickly build an AI video ad, how you can do it, how you can launch it, and then how you can convert it. So I see that there's a lot of you that are just joining and asking, what is this about? So I just wanted to quickly let you know that that's what, and David is my guest today. So thank you for being here. Go back into it, Dave. Sorry, I just want to make a quick update for all those new newbies that have just joined us.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Wendy. So that's exactly right. We're going to be building a video ad from start to finish here. And I'm going to be showing you the tools that I use and use a real use case scenario here. So I'll jump back into screen share. Yeah, and I can't imagine I've never watched a live on Instagram actually. I'll have to check that out, see what that looks like. But what I'm talking about is I'm talking about using the first thing and that's to create the script, right? And so it's a video, and it's actually going to be a voiceover video because those are what are converting the best. And so the target we're talking to are high school students. And let's just pull up. Okay. Am I in there? So I'm just going to pull up the buyer persona for their electrical tech program. And so this custom GPT already knows who we're talking to. And we want to target or talk to high school grads. Uh, and I'm going to misspell everything. Going to be the electrical tech program. And we want to send a message that you can get to work while your friends are still in the first SE semester of school, college. And this is an Instagram reel, 30 seconds. We want to start with a hook and output storyboard. And voiceover. Okay, could that have been any clunkier to do live while I'm doing it here? So we've already got the buyer persona. And so what this is going to output is an Instagram reel with a storyboard and the voiceover. And the voiceover hook is while your friends are stuck in lectures, you could already be on the job. Pretty good. But I'd like to, the hook equals a call out to high school grads, right? And the first 3 seconds of every video is so important. If you do not call out something that your audience needs to hear, like they just swipe away. So here's a little bit better line, high school grads, why wait 4 years when you could be working in just a few months, right? I like that hook a lot better. And so what this does is it's giving us some visuals of what you might want to use in terms of creative to go behind this. I already have that figured out. I'm just showing this to demonstrate. And so what I want to do is output just the voiceover lines. And this will give us just the script, right? Okay. Oh, come on. I don't want the numbers. For copy and paste in 11 labs. And I love that ChatGPT is already programmed to know that I'm completely dyslexic. And so whatever I spell, it's like, I know what you're talking about. So this is going to give us approximately a 30-ish second video. And of course, you can always speed that up and slow it down in post. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy that and we're going to take it to the next step, which is creating the voiceover. Is everybody with me so far? Like wherever you are, give me a thumbs up. Is this making sense?
Okay, and I'm just writing down the steps too, Jesse, that we have the steps on how to do this so that we can post this later for everyone on the repost. Because I know Dave has got some bonuses if you're still joining us. Let me just see if we've got any questions here in the comments I'm seeing. Cool. Gemma, thank you for being here. It's probably very hard for you to see on Instagram. And I think that we may need to upgrade our restream so that we can see this properly on Instagram because it is still horizontal and it's very tiny at the top. So something, Jess, how is it looking for you, Jess, on Instagram for you?
Let me check.
Um, Someone asks here, Brad. Brad on YouTube asks, how do we create the custom GPT for an advertising client?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. So, I create custom GPTs for all of my clients. And Brad, I'm going to say it is relatively simple once you get the assets that you want to use as core assets. And so for us, right, like I have a Brendan Kane hook point formula that I use. We study with Brendan Kane, we work with him. So that's sort of a proprietary thing. Wish I could share it, but I can't. We use the PCM, which is the process communication model. It's a way that Brendan Kane categorizes different personality types. And so that is baked into every one of my GPTs so that I make sure that we're talking to the bulk of the personality types out there. And that would be a whole nother training. And then I work with the client to bring in their personal things, right? And so a lot of it, like you can go into their website and get a lot of the mission statement, the guidelines, those sorts of things. Use your brain to figure out what else is there, and then start to create buyer personas around what they're selling. And sometimes that just takes a quick conversation with the client. They either know or you become a hero. You actually create it for them. They give you a couple pieces of information. You're like, boom, here's your 5 buyer personas. And I upload all of those as knowledge documents along with a few other things. So creating a custom chat GPT would be a whole nother training, which I would love to do at another time. Don't have the time here today.
We've got another question. Matt asks, how do you do this per client for an ad agency? I own an ad agency and have over 57 clients. How would I do this for my clients?
Yeah, awesome. So we have about the same number of clients. So that's a nice thing to hear. I have an internal team, right? So I'm showing you how to do this. And as an agency owner, I believe I need to be a very proficient operator and know the processes. So my expertise is both paid and organic and like all of the things that go into it. But we have a team behind us for our clients that will do a lot of this work. And that's just the way it rolls, right? One of the things that you need to know is I don't believe that this comes within the scope of probably your regular retainer, right? Because it's a lot of work. So what I would do is I would do a couple of these for clients that you're not currently doing video ads for as examples, as like freebies, show them how they perform, and then say there's an additional cost if you want to scale this out. Make sense?
Cool,
Yeah,
thanks.
cool.
Thanks, Dave. Yep.
Okay, so where were we at? We were at ChatGPT. We created a voiceover script. And next we're going to go to the voiceover tool that I use, and that happens to be 11 Labs. So go ahead and set that up. 11labs.io. This is a paid subscription, but it's pretty inexpensive. It's like 20 bucks a month or something like that. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste in the text that we just did in ChatGPT. I'll clean it up a little bit here because I would like some spacing. And sometimes I will actually give it some double spacing. And I do that because I know I can cut out any gaps in post, right? But if it's all the text, all the voices, okay, rewind. If all the spoken words go ahead and get mashed together, it's very hard to find that point. I generally write my ads in both male and female. And then I'll also use, depending on the client, some different ethnicities, some different accents, those sorts of things to find out what works and A/B test those. I've already set up Brian here as one of the voices that I use here, and I am just going to go ahead. And Wendy, do you know, will they be able to hear my system volume?
Yeah, you
Okay.
should be able to. Yeah, just give us a thumbs up on Instagram. I see there's some more of you that have joined over here. If you can hear this, Dave, your screen now is like giant size on Instagram on your share. So hopefully maybe you can toggle back and forth between yourself and the screen share.
Got it.
We'll work on fixing this next time on Instagram, and I think I see, Jesse, what you're seeing. It just it's like very small at the top when we do a screen share, not when we're speaking face to face with you, but I see on the screen share it's like at the very top of the screen, so it's really hard to see for anyone joining us live. Is that what you're seeing, Jess?
Got it. And could you hear this? Could you hear my system audio?
Oh, that's great, Jess. Okay, yeah, cool.
Could you hear my system audio as it was playing? Yeah.
Go
Okay.
go ahead.
So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to generate the speech here. Can you hear that?
We cannot hear that.
Okay. So I don't know how I would fix that on my end so that you can hear the audio. If you can figure that out, it'd be great. Because it's both a sound and sight show that we have today. Any ideas out there?
Probably because you're plugged in through your port with your headphones. If you might take those off, we could probably hear it natively through your speaker.
There's got to be a way to pipe system audio. That's not going to work, Wendy.
Okay,
So,
that's okay. That's okay.
so Jesse, if you can figure that out, we'll continue along here. If you could hear what was going on, what you'd hear is a male voice, sort of deep, resonant, and he has done a voiceover for all of these lines. And at this point, what I would do now is I'd actually just download it, right? And so down in the right-hand corner, you can go ahead and download this. If you don't like it, you can play with it. And I'm not going to teach 11 Labs. There's a lot of ways to do things, including cloning your own voice, which my voice appears on a lot of different videos. Um, yeah, let's do that. And so it's just been downloaded to my download file. I know you can't see that, but it does come in an MP3 format, and I'm just going to drag that over to the side there, and I have that file. And anybody on the call, how can I share my system audio?
We've sent you a couple of chats, Jesse and I.
There we go. I have figured it out. Let's see this again. All right, give me a thumbs up. I'm going to play this again if you can hear it.
Electrical and solar systems in just 7.5 months. You'll be on the job while your friends are still finding
Jesse
their
can hear it.
classrooms.
I cannot hear
Get
it.
licensed, start earning, and power the future. One wire at a time. Don't wait. Make your move. Tap the link and get started at ACI today.
All right. I like it. Wendy, maybe if you were on mute, you'd be able to hear it. I'm not sure. There's only so many things one person can know, right? And so I have downloaded that. So the next step that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a tool called Runway. Is anybody using Runway to optimize or create animated images, video? And so let's just go into generate video. And here's the thing that I was talking about, right? So many times clients don't have video assets, but they do have photos. And so in this instance, I'm actually just going to take a photo and upload it here. And this is a photo that the client just shot in one of the classrooms. And, so you can actually just drop a photo into a video editor and animate it a little bit, zoom in and out, pan, something like that. And it gives it some lifelike action. But at the end of the day, you can take a video or an image like this, and let's just have man in front working and turn head and smile. Okay, every time I do this live, you never know what you're going to get.
What platform are you using, David?
And so I am using Runway.
Okay.
And actually, I've had this, 3/4 that's going to be fine. This goes ahead and renders. I need to smallenize my screen for a second. And so Runway, they do have a free version that allows you to do a limited amount of work. I, again, use a paid version of Runway so that I don't run into those issues. And while it's rendering, Here we go. Let's see what we're gonna get. So again, I have just dropped a static JPEG picture into Runway. I've given it some direction in terms of what I want it to do, and we'll hit play. And so I got to tell you guys, pretty good piece of video. It's a 5-second video. So think about this for a second. Most ads are somewhere between 50 and 30 seconds. And so if you've got 5 to 7 good videos and you render them at a 5-second interval, like you have everything you need in terms of video assets, and your clients, their minds will be blown, right? Like it's gotten that good. Is everybody with me here? Understand what I'm doing? Okay, I'm taking a static picture, dropping it in Runway, and I'm just animating it. And so we're going to go ahead and download that and drop that in my work. And I'm going to stop the share here. I've got so many things stacked up on my screen.
I think this may have to become a masterclass, David. It's so good.
Yeah, everything with me always has to become a master class, right? All right, so I'm going to go back into this because I promised that we'd build this real quickly. I'm not going to have much time in CapCut. I'm going to go to the next step here, and sometimes I will use some stock images. I happen to use Storyblocks, and Storyblocks has some great video footage, but you can also use Canva. Canva has a lot of great video footage out there that would be formatted in what you're doing, because this particular ad is going to be 9:16. But let's just take this guy. Let's download this. I said download this. Come on. All right. It doesn't want to play nice. All right. Oh, obviously, because now I'm not going to be logged in. So there we go. And I'll go ahead and just download it at a little bit lower resolution. You should check those things before you go live. Make sure that. All right. So that is downloaded here. And I promised to drop a couple of freebies. So before we build this, I'm just going to let you know what we're going to send out. So this is my deliverable list that I use for clients. It's called my Short Star Ad Types and Specs. And so this is deliverables for each ad type, all of the different ad types and aspect ratios, the creative that we deliver. And then it goes into specifically a comprehensive YouTube video ad guide and all the platforms. And it just shows you basically what the specifications are that you have to build each one of these out for each type of ad: non-skippable, bumper ads, outstream ads, in-feed ads, Instagram video ads, Facebook video ads, TikTok, LinkedIn, and it goes on. Is anybody out there, would anybody out there be excited to get this link?
That's great. Yeah, definitely. And I would just say, if you are interested in that, just DM us on one of in the channels where you're watching us, and we will get you that. Dave, what do you want them to DM? Do you have a secret word, or do you have a word that they can DM us?
Nope. Since I won't be receiving the DMs, I'll let you pick the secret word so that
So
so that you know what's going on.
Just if you just want to type in AI ad types, AI ad types to any of our channels, then we will get you a link to this deliverable from David about these different ad type sizes. So yeah, perfect.
Cool. The other bonus, I'm just going to pop this in now so I don't forget about it. So this is my short form video editing standard operating procedure, and it's my like checklist. I don't want to claim this 100% mine because it was a collaboration with information that Ryan Machen provided. But again, this is sort of my technical quality checklist for my video team. Or if I'm working with an in-house team that is doing this and I'm just doing consulting and directional work, this is what they need to do, including safe zones for each ad type. In other words, if you don't know what a safe zone is, basically each platform has buttons and different pieces of the platform that overlay things. And if you put text or calls to action in there, nobody sees them. So give me a thumbs up if you'd be excited about seeing that also.
That's awesome, Dave. That is also, I'm taking notes on this just for us so that I can have these couple of freebies for us on these AI ad type. So that's the keyword. And yeah, I'm also, yeah, it's just be great. Amazing. I got a lot
Good.
of ideas, Jesse, for us going forward here.
Am I okay on time?
You're doing okay. Yeah, we're about at 30-minute mark. So yeah.
Okay. I'll have a couple minutes to build this. The last thing I'm going to show here, we might as well, is sometimes you want some background music in your video. And here's what I've gone to doing. I used to use, what was the Epidemic, right? I used to use Epidemic. I'm sorry about AI Epidemic because I no longer use you. I use Suno. And so when I want a short piece of background music, if you go to Suno, again, they've got a free version or a paid version. Again, if you're doing client work, right, or you're doing a lot of scaling for your own business, this thing's cheap, right? Like, again, 20 bucks a month, something like that. But there's a button over here that lets you do just instrumental type music. And so let's think about the client that we're building this ad for. It's a high school student. So I don't know, like I'm 100 years old. So let's go with hip hop type music, sort of a pop vibe. And we want, let's go with a 45-second. And I'm not going to get into anything else. We'll just call this V002. I practiced this earlier, so I'm going to create a song now, and hopefully whatever it is will be something that I can use. Is everybody with me here? Everybody understand what I'm doing? All right.
Yeah, yeah, I'm getting some thumbs up over here on LinkedIn. So
Okay, cool. And so hopefully you can hear still my system audio. Let's play one of these songs. Fingers crossed. You hear? Okay, that one's okay. Okay, let's go with that one. In the interest of time, and you can just go ahead, hit download, and remember, download the WAV file because it's a much higher quality file than an MP3. So we're just gonna hit download, and that will render real quickly. So I don't have to keep talking. Download the file to your desktop. And I've been tucking all these files, everybody, away on my desktop, so so that we have them all. And so now I'm just going to transition here into CapCut. Who out there is using CapCut?
I don't know, but we've got someone named Amanda who says I love your tech stack. I think I missed a couple at the beginning. So maybe you can just run over your tech stack with us, Dave. I think you had ChatGPT.
Right. So I ideate and create the voiceover in ChatGPT. I use custom GPTs for all my clients. Then I take the voiceover script and I use 11 Labs to render the voiceover file. And I'll generally render that for both male and female voice and maybe a couple of different type accents. And then I will animate any still images that I have, including stock. And I didn't mention that because you can take a stock image out of even like Canva, right? And take it over to Runway and animate still images into video. And then you might want some stock assets, B-roll. And then we just created the background sound if we wanted to have a background sound in Suno. Cool. Are we there? So I'm just going to start dragging stuff over into, that's that piece of stock video. And here's the one that I created with Gen 4. I have some additional stock video that is from the client. So I'm just going to drag that in here. And guys, you can use Premiere Pro for this. I'm a Huge fan of Premiere Pro, used it all my life. And I've got to say, Wendy, one day banged out like 4 videos on CapCut. And I'm like, what? You're kidding me. They actually have a desktop app. And I have at this point moved primarily, and my team, I've moved us from Premiere Pro into CapCut, the desktop version. So if you're not using it, again, this is the Pro version. It's paid, and it has some additional bells and whistles. And so I would take my voice track, and this is the way I think. Video editors out there, you can say, hey, you're doing it wrong. And you're probably right. I might learn something here. I'm going to take that runway image and I'm just going to drop it in. And then you need to go into ratio, and I want to make sure that I am doing a real 9:16. And then you got to just make sure that you fill the margins, right? And so let's drop a couple of, I'm just going to randomly sort of drop some things in here in the interest of time. Right? And I'm just going to short them up, guys. I would take a little more time if someone was paying me to do this, but I'm hoping that you're going to get the gist of what we need to do here. And yes, we know that these don't ever remind me of that again. I understand how the audio thing works. All right, let's do this. And then we had a piece of B-roll here. And we'll do this. So I'm going to go over this just real quickly with the scrub line, and visually it already looks pretty good. Obviously, we've got to size this. I picked this particular one because I could just tell from the stock video that this was going to be, boom, really pretty good from a close-up. And that's one of the things, right? And maybe we'll give this a little motion at the end. Who here is using CapCut? Thumbs up. Anybody? Awesome. So I'm just going to go into transitions here. And again, I would spend a little more time. I'm trying to get this done in the next couple of minutes. And so I like this Pro transitions. Let's just use a quick blur, and that's fine. And then what you can do here is you can actually go ahead and hit apply to all. Again, I wouldn't do that if it was client work. I might spend a little more time here. But let's just go ahead and render this and see what we have built in a couple of seconds here. Oh, we have missed the voiceover, like the main thing. Where is it? Let's see. Okay. Jesse, what did I do with it? Oh, there it is.
Is it that? Oh,
All right. So let's just drop that in the timeline. I was like,
High school grad.
all right. So it's sort of weird with, I'm just going to make this smaller so I can see the bottom of the timeline. So obviously we've overshot the whole thing here. Let me pull the timeline out a little bit here so I can see this. And this volume needs to go way down, obviously. This over here, I need to mute anything that is going to be in the video tracks themselves. And let's give some, oh, that's our main thing that we did with Runway. I'm just shortening these all down again. Yes, everybody, I know you could select them all at once and shorten them all at once. I'm new, but I'm not that new. All right. All right. Drum roll. Let's hit it, see what we got.
High school grads. Why wait 4 years when you could be working in just a few months? At Austin Career Institute, you'll train in electrical and solar systems in just 7.5 months. You'll be on the job while your friends are still finding their classrooms. Get licensed, start earning, and power the future. One wire at a time. Don't wait. Make your move. Tap the link and get started at ACI today.
Wow.
Anybody?
That was awesome. That's
Now,
awesome, Dave.
again, we built this very quickly, right? And so
Jesse, I know you thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. So good and so
That is
quick.
so good. Wow.
yeah, so in 30 minutes, we have gone the full gambit here. And just think if I wasn't staring into a camera thinking about it, we'd have a finished product in 20 to 25 minutes. A video team can do this. Now, here's the thing. Um, I will then, duplicate this and I'll use the maybe a female voice track, one with an accent. I might try a couple of different hooks at the beginning. And so you can start to version this very, very quickly in terms of creating different assets. And while you're there, right, then you can go ahead and change that aspect perspective down at the bottom and very quickly create a square version, right? Because square are super popular in some places. And then modify it for 5x4 if you needed to do that for specific platforms. So you're going to see those things in those standard operating procedure documents that we're going to share with you. And I can't teach you everything I know here, but basically once you get one final sort of video, then you just start to version it very quickly and duplicate it. And I know there was Brad out there who had an agency that had some questions. Like, let's connect, and I'm happy to do a brain dump with you if you have any specific questions, as long as I can ask you any questions I have. And that's the way I have learned everything in my entire life. I am self-taught, and I think that's probably going to serve all of you pretty well. So with that said, Wendy, what else do you think I should share here before we do any sort of Q&A?
One question you were going to share with us, if you could share this real quickly, is how to convert this. You had shared that you can do multiple duplications of this ad with different voiceovers, different styles, and test these out there on your advertising platform. How do we actually get this ad to convert?
Right. So that is like a loaded question, right? And so I heard two questions there. First is how do you version this? And literally, you can go into CapCut, you can go down into the ratios that are here, and we could create a square version of this, right? And now what you have to do is you have to go in and you have to nudge each one of these images, right? Each one of these pieces. Obviously, I would have rendered this, saved it, and then duplicated it before I started changing it, or your life will be a mess, and so will your workflow. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is, how do you get these to convert? And so let's just take the Meta channel, right? Different types of creative go into different spaces. I use a lot of reels and story type videos for this particular workflow. I'm finding them to be very low cost compared to Google Ads when it comes to the customer acquisition cost. And so I use the Meta lead forms as so that people don't have to go to the website. Anytime you run ads on a platform like Meta, if you try and get them to go to your website, your drop off rate is it's like going off a cliff, right? And then we all know everybody here has Alex Hormozi baked into their heads, hopefully. And if you don't, you should be following. I connect those Meta lead forms directly to the CRM so that the leads boom as soon as they're filled out. They're in the client's hands and their lead team handles them. It's one of the things that we're working on right now because speed to lead is critical in conversion. And so we make sure that the team is picking up the phone and calling them within 5 minutes of filling out the lead. And I think that's my takeaway for you guys. If you are building leads out there and you're getting back to people an hour later or in the afternoon or a day later, it's just over anymore, right? People expect instantaneous sort of contact, and then things work themselves out. So that's the way I am making sure that our leads convert at a higher and higher rate. And obviously, the creative, and Gary Vee says this all the time, creative is like the one biggest variable in getting people to engage, but it's only one step of the process, right? And so if you're struggling to, generate leads, like the creative seems to work, but we're not getting leads, like look at all the other parts of your funnel, because it needs to be end to end fixed, buffed out, whatever you want to say. And it's a lifetime process, right? It's like never done work. So, yeah, that's what I would say about that.
Cool. Awesome.
And I love doing this stuff. So thank you for inviting me. I know there's a lot of steps. It's complicated. You'll put it out there. Um, but that's the world we live in right now. And so if you're trying to build your own business, your own presence, you're doing client work, whatever it is, dive into generating lead driven, or conversion focused creative, short form video creative. It's killing it. It's knocking it out of the park. But you got to stop doing like the stuff that just is B-roll with music in the background and some text. It just doesn't convert anymore, right? And that's why we're using voiceover. Man, it was just 2 years ago, I had this whole stack of voiceover talent that I was using on Fiverr. It would take like 3 or 4 days or whatever to get a piece of, voiceover content. And yeah, it wasn't that expensive, but now, I mean, with AI, I can literally do dozens of these things before lunchtime. Cool.
Awesome.
Any questions out there that you see that I should answer?
Nope. I think we're good. Yeah.
All right. If you want to connect with me directly, obviously send something to Wendy, but I am a big LinkedIn person. I answer my LinkedIn messages on a regular basis. So connect with me on LinkedIn and let's brainstorm.
That's great. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Jesse, for being here. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
See you guys out there on Instagram. That was great. David, what a great training. Awesome. Yeah, I think we're going to have some great teachables coming out of here for this. So yeah, DM us, let us know how we can help you with your AI video ads, and we'll see you guys on the other side.